All right. Good morning, Parrot Parade. My name is Talia. I'm from our education department, and welcome to another edition of our Summer Kids Club. Today, we're going to be learning about some friends who are hanging out behind me here. We are going to be learning about some sharks today. We're also going to be exploring their teeth. Now, today, we are going to think like a scientist. We are going to be shark sleuths today because I have a mystery jaw to look at a little bit later on in our program. But first, let's start making some observation about sharks and our teeth. And if you have any questions during our program today, you can interact with us two different ways depending on when you're watching. If you're watching this live Friday the 13th at 11 o'clock, you can use our text line, and that's right down there, right below. You can text us in at 562-286-1838. Do make sure if you're one of our younger viewers that you do get parent permission before texting us in. But yeah, you're welcome to text in your questions and observations live to us if you're watching this during our broadcast. If you have some questions later, you're welcome to email us as well. So we have an email address down below there on the screen. That's live@lbaop.org. So if you're watching this a little bit later on, after we've broadcast, you're welcome to email in those questions as well, and we'll check those as we go along. But let's start exploring some sharks today. I'm going to get out of the way so you can kind of check out our shark lagoon a little bit better. This is actually a webcam on one of our exhibits here. Kind of check out sharks for a moment. Now, today we're going to be talking about sharks, and we're going to be talking about shark teeth as well. So kind of looking at these sharks aren't all the same, right? They have different body shapes. They have different sizes. They have different patterns on them. Now, the same actually goes for their teeth, right? So not all sharks eat the same thing. So that kind of, to me, that means their teeth are going to be a little bit different as well so that they can eat different foods. Now, if you think about our mouth, we have kind of different teeth to do different jobs, right? So if you're going to bite into an apple, would you use your front teeth? Or would you use your back teeth, like the first bite, right? I would use my front teeth to go eat an apple. But then if I want to make that apple smaller, my back teeth are a little bit better to do that, are nice and flat. So that helps me grind. That helps me grind up my food a little bit more when I'm chewing that piece of apple that I just got. So let's start looking a little bit at shark teeth and seeing what they look like. And maybe we can try to figure out what do they eat just by looking at some of their teeth. So I'm going to go over to my Explorer cam over here. We can go check out some different shark teeth. Try to get some of these guys out of frame a little. Woo! I might leave them where they are because they might just fall off my Explorer cam onto the floor. Okay, so I'm going to start with this tooth. It is very bright, so I'm going to go turn down the light so you can see that. Ah, that's better. Okay. So this first tooth, I should say, excuse me, that we are going to explore is this friend. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. Let's see if it focuses. Yeah, I'm going to go adjust the light one more time. I think it is a little too dark now. Okay, that looks better. All right, so this first tooth that we're going to explore, this is from a white shark. And it's nice and kind of triangle-y in shape. What do you guys notice about the shark tooth here that we're looking at? Any ideas? Again, you can text in those questions or observations to that number on your screen, 562-286-1838. Ours is kind of shiny too, but I'm noticing there's something about the edges of that tooth that's a little bit different than maybe the teeth that we have in our mouth. So I notice that the edge of our tooth here is kind of bumpy. It's not all nice and smooth like this part kind of over here. Got these kind of bumps on the edge here. So this type of tooth is called a serrated tooth, and it reminds me of some tools that I use when I'm eating dinner. If I sat down to dinner and I had a nice big piece of meat, like a big piece of chicken or a big piece of steak, I wouldn't just kind of put it on my fork and go, "Arr," and eat it just like that, right? So I have some other tools to help me make that piece of chicken or steak a little bit smaller. So this kind of edge to the white shark's tooth, this kind of reminds me of using a knife or a steak knife to kind of cut my piece of meat into a smaller piece of food. And this is kind of what these sort of teeth do. They'll actually help the shark take a big bite of something, but then make it into more manageable pieces in their mouth, and then they'll swallow it. So this kind of, a lot of times, they not only eat different things, so just like our teeth have different jobs to do, we have our flat teeth in the back to grind, we have our front teeth to kind of bite and cut a little bit with our kind of incisors next to our front teeth there. These guys will use their kind of bumpy edges on their teeth, just like a knife, to help them cut their food into smaller pieces. Ooh, I heard that observation come in that it is shiny. I agree. This is kind of a shiny tooth that I have here. They must have done some good polishing work on their teeth when they were brushing their teeth. I agree. It is a shiny tooth. Right now, good observation. All right, so let's explore some other teeth that I have, and let's see if maybe we can figure out a little bit about kind of what those teeth are doing. So this friend, our serrated tooth, is going to help us get bigger pieces of food, make them into smaller pieces. So say if our shark ate more mammals, that would definitely be something they want to get into more of a manageable size. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Get this a little bit more into, I'm going to try to get it above our text line number there. Okay. So here's another tooth and jaw to explore. Is this the same as what we were looking at before? What do we notice about these teeth? Now this is from one of our, this is from a mako shark. So it's going to be eating something a little bit different than our white shark tooth that we were looking at earlier. And I noticed that they're still kind of a triangle shape, but they're not quite as kind of thick as our white shark's tooth was. It's not like that typical triangle that we draw when we draw a triangle. These ones look a little bit longer to me. They're a little bit more stretched out. And that kind of reminds me of another tool that I use at the dinner table. So we're thinking that our great white shark's tooth, or a white shark's tooth with that kind of bumpy edge, reminds me of a dinner knife. These types of teeth, these long, skinny, pointy teeth, they remind me of a dinner fork. So they will use these, just like we use our fork at the dinner table, to help hold on to a piece of food and kind of help grab onto their food. So this is great if maybe they're eating something that is a little bit slippery. So this is great for sharks that like to eat fish, and helps them hold on to that fish and then gulp, swallow it down. You might also notice with this shark's teeth that there is, since we're kind of looking more at a whole jaw here, we're looking at the different rows of teeth too. So there's a row here, There's a row behind it, and then there might even be a third row over this way too. I wonder why they have so many rows of teeth. It might help them maybe get a little bit of food, but another thing that having so many rows of teeth do, it helps them replace their teeth over time. So we kind of have two sets of teeth as humans, right? We have our baby tooth, those get loose, come out, and then we have our grown-up teeth grow in, and then that's it. If we lose our grown-up tooth, we have to go kind of put a fake tooth in instead. But sharks do it a little bit differently. They actually have rows and rows of teeth that kind of line up behind each other. And their teeth are kind of loose in their mouth. Ours are set in bone, so they're pretty sturdy. Sharks don't have bones in their body. They have cartilage, this kind of squishy stuff instead. So they can actually just bite into breakfast and lose a tooth. Oh my goodness. But they have all these rows to help them out. So if they lose a tooth in the front, boop, the next one is kind of roll up to take its place. It's kind of like a conveyor belt of teeth. And then that tooth's going to hang out there for a while. And then if they lose that tooth, whoop, guess what? There's another one behind it. And it rolls up to take its place. So one shark can lose 30,000 teeth in a lifetime. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of teeth. So I think there might be a special branch of the tooth fairies. They're probably like an elite group that helps out with shark teeth, because they would put ours out of business, I think, really, really fast. So I'm going to move away our mako jaw. I'm just going to show one more jaw just to give you another example. Whoa! I'm actually very proud of my zoom right now. Of all those rows of teeth, if it'll stop wobbling. I have some more shiny teeth for you, my friends. Okay. So this is kind of looking at the back of the teeth. If we put a camera kind of where your tongue is, this is kind of what we would be seeing for our shark teeth. This is another example. Do we notice, my friends? Ooh, you can actually see it really well on these teeth too. Those bumpy edges again. Do you remember what they were called? It's a big science word for it's not even lunchtime yet. So we have our serrated edges here again. So I think this is another white shark's jaw. And again, those teeth are going to help cut this food into smaller pieces. So we got our jaw up at the top here, or excuse me, our front tooth here. And then we have all these rows. Let's see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even a fifth one hiding down there to help replace those teeth over time. So I just wanted to give you another example of just how many rows of teeth sharks can have. All right, I have one more jaw to explore before we get to our mystery shark. I hope you guys have been making some good observations at home so far. So I'm going to explore one more different type of teeth. This is from a cousin of a shark, but they're related to each other. Let's see if I can get it. Whoa. I'm going to zoom out because this is pretty zoomed in. All right. We can get a good idea of the pattern of these teeth. So let's zoom out so we can get a better picture of the whole thing. That's better. All right. I'm going to zoom out just a tiny bit more. All right. Get that a little bit above our text line. Okay. Whoa. So this is very, very different than the teeth that we were looking at before, right? So very different shape. Sometimes when we have we're kind of looking at this, a lot of people's first instincts are like, is that even teeth? Are you holding a snake skin? What is that? Is it honeycomb? So these teeth are a little bit different than our other shark jaws that we have been exploring. And I said that this comes from a cousin of a shark, so it's an animal that's kind of related to them. So this jaw actually comes from, this is a model of a jaw from a stingray, from a ray. So I like to kind of think of them as they are flat sharks. Um, so they have a very flat kind of body shape, and their mouth is kind of on the bottom of their body as well. Could we actually throw up? Do we have a picture of a ray we could throw up for just a moment? Um, so they have a very that's adorable. Yay! All right, so very flat shape. There's their eye. That's kind of the front of their body there, and there's their mouth right there. So they have a very flat mouth on the bottom of their body as well. So if their body's kind of flat, their mouth's kind of flat on the bottom, they're probably going to be looking for food that is going to be, here's a good example of just how thin, how flat their body is. They love resting on the bottom, so that's where their food is going to be hanging out too. Now, remember, the different teeth kind of act like different tools. So, for our raised teeth being very flat as well, they are actually really great for grinding together. Now, if you remember, we have some flat teeth as well, right? We have flat teeth in the back of our mouth. We got our molars there. Those are great for kind of grinding together and breaking our food into smaller pieces. Another thing that our raised flat teeth help them do is that they will help them break open things that are in hard shells. So if you think about things that like to live at the bottom, especially maybe things that are buried in the sand, that's a great place to find things like clams and crabs and snails. And a lot of those friends have hard shells to try to help protect them from predators. But our raised, really, really flat teeth here, these are great for kind of grinding together. If you kind of grind your knuckles together, that's kind of what I think about when the ray is using his jaw to break open that hard shell and get all the yummy meat inside. So that is our ray jaw. So definitely have a lot of different styles of teeth with our sharks and rays to help them get different types of food depending on what food they're going for. So let's review really quick, and then I'm going to reveal our mystery jaw. Okay, so we had our ray. Our ray has nice flat teeth to help them crush their food and grind their food open, like things like hard shells, clams, crabs, things like that. We have our too far. Whoop. Our great white shark, or white shark's tooth, which was bumpy at the edges. I'll kind of zoom in so we can see those bumpy bumps. Whoa, that might have been too far. Focus. Whoop. I'm going to zoom out just, I did it too far. Okay. So, maybe a little further. Apologies. Okay. I fixed it. So, here you have those bumpy bumps on our great white shark's tooth. Those serrated edges help them take a larger piece of food, like a really big fish or a sea lion or something like that, and break it into a smaller piece. So think like our dinner knife at home. And then we have our teeth we were exploring from, let's see, ooh, that'll work. All right, our teeth we were exploring from our mako shark, and those, actually, I'm going to get a little bit further up so you can see. That's too far. I'm going to go with that. All right, those are nice and long and thin and great for grabbing onto slippery fish. So think like our dinner fork at home. All right, my friends, so we've reviewed a little bit about our different teeth that are able to kind of act as tools for our sharks and help them catch different types of food. So let's see if we can use our scientist brains to solve the mystery of our mystery jaw. And I'm going to go get it onto our document camera, our Explorer camera. Right about now, I am too zoomed in, so I'm going to zoom out. Ta-da! Ooh. Go in a little bit further so you can see the teeth. And I'll get that ray jaw out of the way. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go get this a little higher so you can see it. Ta-da! All right, this is my mystery shark. Now, I'm not expecting you, Parrot Parade, to go look at this jaw and say, aha! Miss Talia, I know clearly what shark this is and what it eats. But let's try to use our science brain. Let's look at the shape of the teeth. Man, maybe we can figure out at least what would it eat if it had teeth like that. Because that's a lot of times scientists, when we're looking for answers, we make some observations, we gather information, and we try to figure out, just by looking at something, what can I learn about it? And again, you're welcome to text those observations in to our text line. We still got a couple more minutes to explore. We had an observation coming in that it's small. I agree with you, my friends. So, I noticed that these teeth are pretty teeny tiny. They are really, really bitty. So, if an animal has really, really small teeth, would it be eating really big food? I think this might be eating some small food if it has small teeth. Because if I was trying to eat a big piece of something for dinner, would I use a big fork or a little fork? It'd probably be easier to use the big fork if I have a big piece of food. So, ooh. Oh, interesting. So we had some guesses come in of fish and eggs. That's very, very interesting. I wonder if they would be hard-boiled eggs or scrambled eggs, or maybe Miss Talia just wants some breakfast. That's a really interesting. Ooh, or maybe even little fish eggs. Maybe they pop them like boba. Oh my goodness. All right, those are some great ideas. I love it. So they would be eating tiny food, but look at their shape. Their shape is super interesting too. I like to think that they look like three little fingers almost, or like a little footprint. I'm gonna go zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so we can see the shape of the teeth. Whoa, a little bit better. Let me see if I can bring the jaw down. I'm a little delayed, so. Ooh, I like it. All right. Whoa. These are pretty cool. And again, lots and lots and lots of rows to help them replace their teeth. So, this shark is eating lots of small food. And they look, to my eyes at least, they look a little pointy. You have kind of three little points here. So maybe you can think of them like teeny tiny little mini forks. But they're not like super, they're not nice and long like the mako shark we were looking at earlier. So I think they might be eating something a little bit in between. So they're not quite pointy, but they're not quite completely flat either. Kind of something in the middle. So, my friends, are you ready to reveal our mystery shark? Yeah, you got some good ideas in your head. You guys had some good ideas about what they eat too. So, let's see what shark this mystery jaw comes from. Aha! So, my friends, I would like to introduce you, if you don't know who the shark is. This is a zebra shark! Yay! Now you might be thinking, Miss Talia, I'm looking at the shark that you just put up on the screen here. And this shark, I don't mean to tell you, but this shark is covered in polka dots. And zebras, they don't have polka dots. So why are you calling the shark a zebra shark? So this shark, when it was born, when it was a baby, it had black and white stripes, like a zebra. It was pretty cute. I think we're going to try to throw up a picture of a baby zebra shark. Ta-da! This is what they look like when they're babies. So scientists saw that, explorers saw that, and said, aha, this is a zebra shark. But then, guess what? The zebra shark grew up And those stripes stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched and stretched and became polka dots. So we're like, oh man, it doesn't look too much like a zebra anymore. So this particular shark is named a little bit after more what it looks like when it's a baby than what it looks like when it's a grown-up shark. So, my friends, this is a zebra shark. Its body shape is a little bit different than our typical shark shape, right? It's a little bit more flat on the bottom here, kind of like our stingrays. And its mouth, it's not going like nom, nom, nom like this in the front of their face. Its mouth, just like our ray, is a little bit down on the bottom here instead. So this shark is going to be finding some food on the bottom. Now, it's not going to eat, here's a good example of their mouth here. They also have these little whiskers on the bottom, kind of like a catfish to help them. There's his teeth right over there. There's the little barbels, help them feel in the sand. And then there's his teeth. Adorable smile. Yay. So this shark is going to be finding things on the bottom. So if you guys were thinking fish, it can eat fish. It's going to eat some little teeny tiny fish. It's also going to be finding some fun things in the sand to eat. So things like mollusks, like snails, little crabs maybe. So that's what our zebra shark likes to eat. Here's all these polka dots. And he has this little dot there. That helps him kind of rest on the bottom and kind of take a nap as well. So they don't need to keep floating. They keep breathing. See the gills pumping right over there, just in case you were wondering. So that is who my mystery shark jaw was our zebra shark friend. So I hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about some of our sharks that hang out at the aquarium and in the ocean, and also some of the things that they eat. And we figured that out a lot just by looking at their teeth. So let's review a little bit about what we learned today. So we explored a couple different types of sharks and their teeth. We discovered that the white shark, the great white shark, has serrated teeth. They have those bumpy teeth on the sides, and that's great for cutting big pieces of food into smaller pieces of food. So it's easier for the shark to swallow it, just like we would use a dinner knife at home. We also learned that some sharks, like our mako shark, has really long, skinny teeth, which are great for grabbing food, especially very slippery fish. So that's kind of like using our dinner fork to help hold on to a piece of food. Our ray, our cousin of a stingray, let me see if, a cousin of our sharks, likes to have that flat teeth. There's actually one hiding there. You can see their tail hanging out there. Hello, shark friends. Our gray reef shark just came by. Let me see. We have another ray in here, but they might be taking a nap on the bottom. They are pretty good about doing that. But I'll keep an eye out. They have their nice flat body to rest on the bottom and their flat teeth to help them crush up and grind up things that are especially in hard shells. So things like crabs, clams, snails, stuff like that. We also discovered, whoa! Did you see our sand tiger go by? He has lots of big snaggly teeth. So he, I think, is more in line with our mako shark. It has nice long teeth to help them grab onto yummy pieces of fish. Our zebra shark was my mystery shark for today. And they had teeth that were not quite sharp, but not quite flat, and really itty bitty. So they're going to be eating things like small mollusks, small things that with soft, squishy bodies like snails, little fish, little crabs, some fun stuff that like to hide in the sand. So those were a lot of our sharks that we explored today, and explored by looking at their teeth. So shark sleuths, my shark sleuths that are hanging out in my Parrot parade today, I hope you had fun. And we wanted to thank you for joining us here for our Summer Kids Club. Now, you are welcome to go to the Kids Club page on our website and find not only the class that you watched today, but also our classes that are either upcoming or that have happened in the past as well. So we've been doing this for a little bit. You guys are welcome to check out our program there. We also would encourage you to keep exploring with our at-home activities as well. So if you go to our website, you go to this class of Shark Sleuths, down below our YouTube link is an at-home activity for you to keep on exploring. It's actually using the webcam that you see behind me and help making some more observations about our sharks. So we encourage you guys to check that out as well. And you're welcome to share all of your discoveries that you're making with the hashtag AOP Kids Club Online. So we would love to see all the fun that you're having during our programming. So again, thank you guys so much for coming. And I hope you have a great rest of your morning. We do have another program coming up. Wow, coming up at noon about how to protect our ocean habitats in our backyard. So you're welcome to explore that at 12 noon. But again, thank you for joining us, Parrot Parade, and we'll see you next time. Bye.